So welcome back to Learning Partner. This series is the third episode of Angular Logical Scenarios, where we are going to discuss very real-time applications, scenarios, logical part, and the problem-solving kind of things also. So most of us are working, right? Those who are not working, you know all the Angular basic concept. So by using all those basic concept, we are going to cover all the list of the various. Some of I have created, some of you also have shared me, right? So these are all the things we are going to see. This is the third episode. In first and second episode, I have completed various CRUD operation. See, like this, add model pop-up. See how various ways are there, how you can do the CRUD operation, right? With the side panel and everything. Sometimes we do the inline editing, select all, unselect all, right? Form and table, you will have the form, correct? A separate forms where you will have one component for form list, and on click of add, you will navigate to another component with the query parameter also. See? So this is what the first two episode was about, where I have completed what are the various ways are there to carry out the CRUD operation. Now, the third topic I'm going to do is dependent dropdown. I wanted to do this, but this is the application what I'm going to use it. Now, in every application, I'm going to need a small info like this, right? Where what is the topic, and if you have a UI like dependent dropdown, right? So I will have the UI like this. So I thought like instead of just creating it, so I have designed this UI, right? Now, in every pages, I'm going to need this. Let's say over here, this is the dependent dropdown component. So here you have the small information like this, right? Now, let's say I want to use this into another component. Let's say second is reactive form. If I want to cover the reactive form there, this information is going to change, right? So this is the UI for that. This is the UI for showing that drop down means kind of a breadcrumb you can see, but it's not a breadcrumb. It has very information, right? So in every pages, this information is going to change. So instead of having this piece of HTML code everywhere in every component, we can move this to a reusable component, right? So you can see around 36 line of code is there. Whatever you are able to see of this now, 36 line of code is there and some CSS also. So instead of repeating this code in every component, I can move this into a reusable component, right? So that is the topic what we are going to see, reusable component. I will be explaining input over here, right? Now, instead of this, I'm creating a reusable component folder. So here I will say widgets or reusable component. Let's not make it confusing. So I have just created a component. Now inside this, I will create my first component. Ng generate component. Let's say I'm naming it as a breadcrumbs only. This kind of breadcrumbs only. Or topic info. This will make more interactive. Okay. So I'm creating a one more reusable component that is the name with topic info. Now, whatever the code which is getting repeated again and again, so that I have to move. So first I will get my CSS from my dropdown component. Then I will move it to my CSS over here. Then I need the HTML. So from my HTML, this is the whole code. I will move it to my HTML. Okay. So now we have a separate component where we have all the things what we are going to need for the reusable component. Now, this is the reusable component tag name app-umpo. So now if I have to use this component into dependent dropdown, so what I need to do, I need to use the selector. So app hyphen, what was the name it? Topic info. But I cannot use it, right? I think it has added the import. Yeah, so here you can see it has import added. Import, because this is Angular 21. From Angular 17 plus we got standalone, right? So if you have to use one component to another component, you have to import that component. So if you use it, let me remove it. See, now it won't understand you what is this. Okay. So in the component imports array, you have to import the component, whatever you are going to use in the parent component. Fine. Let me just click on save. So now you can see UI is coming. Let's try to use the same component into another page also. Let's say model pop-up. So here also at the top, I will use app hyphen topic info. So I need to save this. It will add, but we have to manually save it. If I go to the model pop-up here also. So here also it is same. Here also it is same information. So we are reusing the component, but in every page where whenever I'm going to navigate, it should show the different data according to the page. Here it is showing this is correct. This is the model pop-up page. But if I go to the dependent dropdown, it should show some different information. So this information has to be dynamic wherever this is dependent dropdown is a parent component and this is your child component. So whatever the parent component we have, wherever I'm using that child component, I should be able to pass some information, right? So here comes the input. Input is used to pass data from parent to the child component. Fine. So now by just seeing the UI, think like how many inputs we'll be needing. Okay. So here main title, subtitle. Again, you have this core or something now. So that for that also you can have it. So because again, so many input will be needing like here, and right. So instead of having it complicated like this, it will be simple information. And these are the tags. So, and this also. So this is kind of a breadcrumb. I should be able to click it down, but again, it will get complicated. So I won't be covering this part, the top one, but I will cover this one. Okay. Once you understand this, the remaining thing also you can do. So you need to send the title from your parent component, what category it belongs, a small info, and a array of topics which we have covered. Okay. So now in your child component, you need three inputs. So how do you create the inputs? At the rate input property decorator, round bracket, topic name, data type string, empty. At the rate input, round bracket, topic, category. Again, it will be string. I'm initializing with empty. Then, so we got topic name. This topic category also we got. Now we need small info. So subtitle, colon string equal to empty. Then we need array of, what do we say? Topics, what I'm going to cover. So topic list. So this will be array of string like this. So these are the inputs what we have created. Now we will bind it. So where is the topic name? This is the topic name. So we will use interpolation and we will, sorry, this is that nav bar, right? So this is the interpolation topic name. Then here, instead of having code like that, we will receive it as a simple text. Subtitle. Then this has to be dynamic. So let's remove the static one. And here at the rate for loop, because we are expecting an array. So that is your topic list over here, and that we will iterate over here. And the top item over here. Okay. Now one more thing was remaining now, something core. Yeah, here we have to show the category topic. Fine. Now here in the navbar also I will show the same name. Fine. So now we have created the input and that input we have binded to the respective places. Now, so wherever you are using this component, now you have to pass the data. So model CRUD title. So this will be your model pop-up CRUD subtitle, square bracket, property binding, single value. So subtitle will be how to achieve CRUD operation using model pop-up. Fine. This is second. Then what was it? Category. Topic category. It belongs to kind of forms. Then we need the array of topics what we have covered over here. Topic list. It expect an array. So square bracket, single quote, comma, single quotes, comma, single quote. Okay. Now over here we have completed at the rate for loop also we have. No, sorry. At the rate if we have covered. That is nothing but a control plus statement. ng class also, no, view child we have covered. In model CRUD, we have completed the view child and even binding also. Let's save and let's check now. So if I go to the model pop-up, forms is coming, category is not coming. Why? Title we passed. Sorry, what was the property name? Topic name, sorry, it was not title. Like this, save. So see, model pop-up forms, how to achieve CRUD operation, and whatever we have sent that are coming as a dynamic. Now, if we visit to the dependent dropdown, in dependent dropdown also we have to pass the relative information. Where it is dependent dropdown. Now here also topic name only, no? Yeah, topic name, single quote. What do we say? Dependent dropdown. This is our topic. This is first square bracket subtitle, how to achieve dependent dropdown using static array with API, client side and server side too. Okay. Then topic category, it belongs to again forms only. What else was there? And the topic covered. Topic list, topic category. Is it expects an array? What we are going to cover over here. So API integration, @for loop. Then data binding. Events also we are going to cover because change event will be there. Right? And array methods, filter we are going to use. Fine. Now let's see. See, in the dependent dropdown, relative information is coming. Whatever the title you said, you are coming. If you visit model pop-up, see. So this is your reusable component, right? You are passing the data which is dynamic, and your component will you'll project whatever the data you said, right? So before starting the dependent dropdown, I wanted to explain this because this project everyone is going to use it. So I want to make it a very production level application. Like while working, how do we take care of all the things, right? If some UI and some code is getting repeated, we create custom directive, we create custom pipes, right? Sometimes we go for component also if it includes HTML and everything, right? So these are the things what we have to be aware when you create a production level scalable application. As I said, right, most of the code will be written by AI, but above the AI, you have to write the code, what AI is going to deliver. You are the person who is going to judge like, yeah, we are in the right direction or not, right? So this is the third episode where we have completed our reusable component and a very real-time example. I hope you are able to relate it. Okay. HTML I didn't cover because again, the HTML is created by AI itself, so I didn't want to cover that, right? So this is what we have done. After that, so many topics are there, right? So next topic, I will be covering the dependent dropdown. In dependent dropdown, also so many various scenarios we are going to cover, right? So one by one, every episode will be focused on a very real-time project-based scenarios, right? If you are new, please do like and subscribe. In video description, you will be finding a link of my WhatsApp channel. You can connect with me with your queries. Either it is related to interview preparation, you are not getting call, you can always reach out to me, right? Some of the sessions we are doing it live also. So just to get the notification of that, you can join the link. Fine. Yeah, so that's it. Keep on watching and learning. Thank you.